guys, welcome back to a new video. My name is Andy if you're new here, and I'm a Johannesburg based flight attendant, and today's video is going to be a lovely little Q&A because since the lockdown, right now we are in week 5 of our national lockdown in South Africa, so I haven't been flying, but I have been vlogging a lot, and 5 weeks of just vlogging about a lockdown can get a little bit repetitive and I don't want to bore you guys to death, so I thought why not engage with you guys a little bit, see what you guys are thinking, see what you guys are curious about, and do a Q&A. So here goes nothing. Annika Lawrence asked me, oh, okay, just got another one. She wanted to ask me if a South African flight attendant can work as a flight attendant in America, because she knows that in the Philippines you have to be a citizen. Okay, basically, can I work as a flight attendant in the US if I'm South African? No, you have to be a US citizen in order to fly for a US airline, basically. International airlines that hire South Africans are the 3 biggest Middle Eastern airlines as far as I know: Emirates, Etihad, Qatar. If you are South African and you want to fly international destinations, you want to get a Paris layover, New York layover, all that fun stuff, then try to go to one of those open days or apply to work for either Emirates, Etihad or Qatar. I'm sure there's a couple of other Middle Eastern airlines that do the same, but those are the most popular ones and those are the ones I know of. So then she asked, you don't fly international, right? And if you don't, why not? I love that. Okay, no, I don't fly international. I fly local, and that's because I fly for a local airline with local destinations. I spent a lot of time overseas. Even at my previous company, I was a charter flight attendant, and I would spend a month in a different country and then a month home and then a month in a different country, flying out of that country, and then a month back here in South Africa. So I've had the experience, I guess, to me, and for me it's not like I don't really need to tick off all of those things. I'm very happy being a local flight attendant. Okay, mediocre baby. Will my CV stand out if I study tourism? Like, will it be helpful to make me stand out and be hired as a flight attendant? I would say yes and no. So tourism will definitely be helpful because you're trying to work in the tourism industry. So I say go for that, absolutely. But at the same time, as a flight attendant, you're still gonna have to also spend money training to be a flight attendant. And as you know, in South Africa, we don't get a job first and then train. We have to train, pay for that ourselves, and then apply for jobs with the license we get after training. I'm sure that tourism will still be a plus though. I'm sure it'll be beneficial to you, and beneficial even when you're applying to flight attendant jobs, but I think that their focus is more on the customer service experience. But if you can get both, go for it, get both. And then she followed it up and said, how much work experience? Can it be 1 year? Can working at a club be helpful? So my answer to that is 1 year minimum, like customer service experience. If you can get more, if you do get more, then that makes it even better. I know people that don't even have customer service experience that are flying as flight attendants, and I know people that have 5 years customer service experience that are flying as flight attendants. So it really depends on what makes you stand out. If the interviewer just gels with your personality, I think is more what it's about. But don't discount experience, hey? Experience will always be a good thing. Okay, the next question, where to and when was your last flight? My last flight was on the 24th of March. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was on the 24th of March, and I flew down to Durban and had about a 3-hour sit in the airport and then flew back to Johannesburg. So my crew and I went there, we got ourselves some dinner, had something to eat, hung out, chilled for a bit, and then we flew back home. And yeah, that was my last flight. I remember it. It was a good day. It was a really good day. When are you supposed to go back to work? So I have no idea. I think all of us in aviation will go back to work when the lockdown allows us to go back to work. Because at this point, it's not the airlines making the decision, it's the country, it's our government, it's our president who is saying that we cannot go back to work right now. And at the end of the day, the travel industry is so high risk because the chances of catching something on an airplane are so much higher than if you're just sitting at home safe, you know. So I understand why we can't go back to work right now, but it does make me sad. What is the situation of your airline? I'm not too sure. I'm honestly not too sure. I don't think that there is a single airline in South Africa right now that is happy about this lockdown and that is happy about the situation, and I feel like they're all being affected the same, and maybe some worse than others, but it just this whole thing just breaks my heart. What would be the first destination you would bid for when you can go back to flying? I think I've mentioned it before. I want to go to Durban because my family lives in KZN, so if I can bid specifically for a flight, or even if I'm just jump seating down to Durban at some point when I'm gonna have a couple of days off, I definitely want to do that, take advantage of that so that I can get to see my family a little bit. What do you like most about flying? I like the fact that there's always something to learn. I am a huge believer in the fact that you are never at an age where you suddenly know everything. And I know when we were all 18, we thought we knew everything. When we were all 21, we thought we knew everything. You know, the minute you're an adult, you're like, oh, no one can tell me any different, blah, blah, blah. But I honestly believe that there is always something to be learned. And I find that as a flight attendant, that is where that sentiment has been highlighted so much in my daily life. Like, there's always something to be learned, whether from a passenger, from a fellow crew member, from a pilot, from a child that is on your flight, just anything. There's always so much to be learned. Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of things that are my favorite thing about flying. It's really difficult to pinpoint for me. What do you miss the most about flying? I miss everything. I miss doing my pre-flight checks. I miss the briefings where we all get to have a little bit of a laugh, have a little bit of a chat before the day starts, meeting new people. I miss the galley chats, the jump seat gossip. I miss the smell of the coffee. I miss so many things. I miss the lack of sleep. I miss the early sign-ons. I miss the feeling we get when we land on the last leg and we know that we're done for the day and it's been a really long day. Man, I miss it all. Lisa asked me, do you plan on being a flight attendant for the rest of your life? If I could, I would. Let's be real. Like, if I could, I absolutely would fly forever. But I want to be in aviation for the rest of my life. If I can expand and do something else, become an instructor, become a trainer, something like that, then I would definitely be happy to do that. Vicky asked, how long do you think it will take for us to be able to fly again? Dude, if it were up to me, we'd be flying again. I really don't know, because at this point it's up to the government. But I'm hopeful that once we reach level 3 of our lockdown, we will be flying again. So I'm hoping in June. I mean, May would have been better, but at this point I'm guessing June. I'm really hoping that we are flying as soon as possible, because there's just so many people that depend on it. All of them have families that they're supporting, you know, and this is probably really tough for them. And tourism is the fastest growing sector in South Africa, so the minute we can get planes flying again, the minute we're going back to work, then the quicker we get to grow again, and the quicker we can employ more people so that we can lessen the unemployment rate in this country. So it's just, I'm hoping sooner rather than later, but at the end of the day it is tough because obviously health comes first. Svatlim Nigati asked, you're always studying, ufundelani? I love it. She's asking, what am I studying? I'm studying business management through UNISA. I am kind of hating it at this point, which is why I'm always studying. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's always something to be learned. And also, I don't think I'll be able to fly forever. So having something else that I can offer the company I'm currently flying for, if I can be able to like go into a different position, still in aviation, but a different position that maybe requires a degree or something, then I'm happy to do that. And yeah, I just think, why not? Noki is asking, how are you staying positive? I am barely hanging on there. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I just think because my job took such a hit and because my sector is so non-essential at this point, there is no rush to get us back. Money plays an important part to how you're feeling. If you can't pay your bills, if you can't even buy food, that takes a toll on how happy you're feeling, you know. But I'm trying to stay as positive as possible because I have people around me who are just very supportive. And at the end of the day, I see the bigger picture, and I kind of just refuse to let myself be miserable through this. You know, I obviously have my days. I definitely have my days. I have more bad days than I would like to admit, but at the end of the day, I refuse to let that be what I'm gonna remember the lockdown for and what I'm gonna remember this whole thing for. And it's just a matter of mind shift and seeing the bigger picture and focusing on controlling what you can. Noki also says, do you have any tips on managing one's finances? I wish. I have done a couple of finance related videos, because I'm still also figuring out my finances. I am making videos about it as I go along. Right now, I cannot give you any tips about saving and investing and this and that because I'm in no position to be doing any of that right now. I'm literally just trying to survive at this point. I would say when things are back to normal and stuff, just try to just teach yourself about your finances, you know, try to educate yourself and be aware of what good financial decisions and bad financial decisions are. I suggest you follow Nicolette Mashile. She is awesome. She is South African. She has a finance YouTube channel and she gives really good advice. My biggest thing right now is just the minute that we're back to flying, the minute everything is back to normal, I want to put away a bigger emergency fund than what I used to have, you know, because I feel like we all think, oh, maybe 1 or 2 months worth of pay we should put aside, but I feel like because of what's happening right now, we should all try to maybe plan for a 6-month emergency fund if possible. I know not everyone can do that, but I think if you can, try to just put as much money away as you can. That will help you when something bad happens, because if this has taught us anything, it is that it is always a matter of time. It's not a matter of if something bad will happen, it's a matter of when. So just try to plan for stuff like that. I think right now that's the only advice I can give you because I don't think I'm qualified to say anything else. And then the last question is from Lesejo. It is, what is your next plan if your airline doesn't survive this? Firstly, my airline is going to survive this because I will not accept any other outcome, and I'm going to manifest the heck out of that. If they don't survive this, I'm pretty much always going to be working towards being a flight attendant, I guess. So I'll go back into hospitality if I have to. I will work in a hotel again if I have to. There's no other career path that I really want to like grow in, if you know what I mean. I think eventually when I am much older, I would like to open my own bridal boutique where I get to just sew really pretty wedding dresses for a living, but that will be well into my 50s, probably not anytime soon. For the time being, I would love to just keep flying and to just be in aviation, and if I'm unable to fly, then I will work towards being able to fly until I can fly again. Last one. As I was leaving this, Darren, who's one of Keegan's best friends, is asking if I am sick of Keegan yet, and it's like a an 80-20, you know, like 20% of the time, yeah. Put any two people in one house and tell them to just be there together for an unknown amount of time, and it's gonna drive everyone crazy. Also, he and I are both really stubborn. Even if I were at home with my parents, as much as I miss them, I know I would be getting sick of them as well at some point. So naturally, yes. Okay, so that is it for this Q&A. I think it has run a little bit long, but I tried to be as straightforward as possible, as straightforward as my talkative self could possibly be. But yeah, thank you guys so much for actually participating, engaging with me, you know, asking these questions. I really appreciate it. I think this is something we should do often, on like a monthly basis, maybe, I don't know, 3 months, every 3 months. We'll see. You guys let me know in the comments how often we should do Q&As on this channel. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed to my channel. Please don't forget to spread good vibes and be kind, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye bye.